Good morning. Welcome back to Planet Doug in the city of Padang, West Sumatra. The Wisma Rumah Kita, the homestay, is right behind me. And I'm all packed up. I've got my bag on the back here. So I'm heading to a small town about 76 kilometers south down the coast. That's if you take the main highway, 76 kilometers. If you hit the throttle, you'd be there in less than 2 hours. But the reason I'm going there, well, let me start up the scooter and start riding as I talk. The reason I'm going there is I just want to travel further south down the coast, and normally I would go on my scooter, make my way somewhere down south, and then turn around and come back to Padang at the end of the day. But in this case, I'm going just far enough that I didn't want to stop at the end of a relatively long day and then turn around and drive all the way back. So I started looking for a place there to spend the night, and with the help of Wander Eats, YouTube channel Wander Eats, Daryl, my friend there, he helped me track down a small town there with a very attractive sounding economical homestay. So instead of riding south and coming back, I'm riding south and staying south. First part of the ride is very familiar to me. I'm heading to the bridge, the famous bridge here in Padang. Cross the bridge, follow the coast, and I'll be going past all these places I'm quite familiar with now. Air Manis Beach, Gado Gado Lookout Point, where they go paragliding, then past the harbor, you know, the shipping harbor. And then on from there. But then eventually I'm going to reach a point where I'll be on new ground. And it's sort of a peninsula. So the main highway cuts inland, but a series of small roads go through this peninsula and apparently go to a lot of attractive beaches, a lot of places where you could hop on a boat and go out to offshore islands if you wanted to. Sort of a resort, beachy kind of area. But here I am at the bridge. Not sure... Got to do a little U-turn here. And then, then I'll be in unknown territory. And the plan is to go relatively slowly. Whenever I see an interesting place to stop, I'll pull over to the side, check out the scenery. Gorgeous day. Another reason I'm leaving today is, according to the weather forecast, today is going to be sunny most of the day, so I don't think I even have to worry about rain. Knock on a scooter. Beautiful day. Here I am, my favorite part of Padang, the bridge, this off-ramp, and then the road here that follows alongside the river with all the fishing boats. The town that I'm heading towards, by the way, is called Painan, P-A-I-N-A-N. I didn't even know it was there, to be honest, until Daryl pointed it out to me. And it's a little bit past where I had planned to stop for the day and turn around, so it's pretty convenient. And the more I looked at the Google Maps layout of Painan, especially in satellite view, the more interesting it became. It doesn't have this kind of amazing river with all the boats that Padang has, I don't think. But looks like an interesting place to spend some time. Just a typical Sumatra coastal town. Perfect sunshine this early in the morning. Sun just came up a short time ago. And the homestay that I'm heading towards is called Bimini, the Bimini homestay. And it has, according to Agoda and you know, online booking in general, a very high rating, like 9.2 on Agoda. Everybody praises it. Apparently, yeah, very good value for what it costs. I always enjoy reading the reviews on Google Maps and on Agoda. You have to take all the reviews with a grain of salt, of course. You have to understand that people have different expectations. In my case, I think I have a very realistic expectation. So my understanding is, you know, it's a low budget place. So I'm not expecting luxuries. I'm not expecting a clean bathroom, you know, like a 4-star sort of environment. So I think my expectations are in line with what I'm paying for the place. So some people will leave a negative review, but then you read the review and they say, well, the bathroom was not as clean as they'd like, things like that. And it's like, well, that's the world of a low-budget hotel. But there was one Google Maps review in particular that ended up being sort of a back and forth between the manager. Apparently there's a woman that runs the place. Everyone talks about her, kind of a grandmotherly sort of figure. Very warm and very friendly. Oh, look at this. Early morning hiking club. And someone apparently had booked a room there. The details weren't entirely clear. But then on their way, their car broke down. They had car trouble. And they, according to them, they stayed in touch with the manager, with this grandmotherly woman, and told her that, okay, we're having car trouble, but we're still on our way. We're going to be a little bit late, but we'll still get there. And they, according to them, they stayed in touch with her all throughout this. But when they showed up, they had given away their room because they figured they weren't coming. But the funny thing is that the grandmotherly woman said, well, you should have known that the road was rough and it was your responsibility to make sure that your vehicle was in good condition, so it was your fault. So she ended up in a little bit of a back and forth with these people, which probably wasn't wise. Anyway, I thought that was kind of amusing. Well, so I'm on the coast road now, up in the hills, and I just stopped here because there's a not the best view along this area, but you can see how the land opens up. You can see the ocean, some islands, and from here, I'm just basically going on autopilot throughout the rest of this ride until I reach the point where I encounter the new road. So I'm going to probably just shoot a time-lapse from this point, and the next time you hear from me, I'll be on a new portion of road, exploring a new area of this coast. All right, I'll see you then. Enjoy the time-lapse, if there is a time-lapse. Welcome to the time-lapse. It's a bit of an excessive one, I must admit. I'm going to cover 26 kilometers before I get to a bit of road that's new to me. Everything I'm covering here in these 26 kilometers, I've already ridden several times, which is why I'm not recording it in real time. And the time-lapse from beginning to end is 11 minutes long. So feel free to skip ahead to when it's over if you don't want to watch all of it, but I will keep you company here in the narration as we zoom along. It's early in the morning, as you can see, beautiful light, beautiful views all along this coast road. I could ride this road over and over and never get tired of it. And I often pull over like this when I see an opening, just to show a little bit of the scenery down there. And you often see, as I said, the hikers, people that are staying in nearby guest houses on holidays, and early in the morning they go out for hikes. The funny thing is that I notice that hikers and people who jog in the morning for exercise, they often choose to hike or jog alongside a busy road rather than trying to get off the road and go through the countryside where it might be quieter. But I think when it comes to exercise, people want to be healthier, but they also like to be seen being healthy. It's sort of like they want to do it in public and have everyone look at them and see that they're exercising. And maybe they make people like me who aren't exercising feel guilty that we aren't doing it. Just a theory I have. So here we are down at Teluk Bayur, which is the port. I've ridden through here a number of times already, and they ship a lot of oil and gas and cement and gravel. I don't know, a whole bunch of industrial sorts of activities go on here, and the big ships come in, get loaded up at the docks, and then carry their products off. Riding into the sun for the most part, which isn't the best for views. That's a crazy corner. I always love that. I know it's coming up now because I've done it so many times, but you come out of that industrial area and then you turn right away, and it's a big open intersection with traffic coming in from so many different directions, and you thread the needle. Bit of stop and go traffic here. In the morning, you get a lot of children going to school, parents stopping to drop them off and pick them up, and so traffic tends to get a bit congested. And you get these local vans that are sort of the local bus system, kind of a local transportation system, and they stop constantly along the road to pick people up and drop them off. And here's a van right here, this one here. So if you get stuck behind them, you end up in a traffic jam. And along here, you often come across troops of monkeys, especially when there's cliffs and trees like here going around the corner. You have to be careful. There might be a half a dozen or a dozen monkeys like coming out of nowhere. But on this morning, apparently, they were still sleeping or up in the jungle, wherever they are. I didn't see any monkeys on this trip. And every time I rode along here, I was always thinking about the Lighthouse Cafe. I shot a video about it. The last video that I posted to Planet Doug had a section at the end when I went to the Lighthouse Cafe finally. But until that day, I was always looking for it, and it was so difficult to find. It's up here on this hill. I'm slowly climbing up, getting higher and higher. And it turns out that the Lighthouse Cafe doesn't really have a lot of signs. So for the first few trips, I just went right by it, and I never saw it. When I pass it this time, I'll try to point it out if I think of it when it flashes by. Beautiful ride, as you can see. A lot of fun, too, with all the curves and going up and down. And, of course, I'm not really going as fast as it looks. If you pause the video, you can look at the speedometer, and you can see that I'm doing about 40 kilometers an hour at the most throughout this entire ride, especially here going up into the hills and down again. Maybe 45 would be the maximum speed that I hit. So I'm not really going that fast. Oh, I already went by the Lighthouse Cafe again. At this speed, it's even harder to spot. Yeah, I know where it was, but I was busy talking about the speed, and I forgot to look for the lighthouse. But we just passed by it, and now we're on the other side of the hill and going down. I recently watched a couple of videos from the Lost Boys YouTube channel, some travelers on motorcycles that are in Sumatra right now. And in the last video of theirs that I watched, they actually rode their motorcycles on this road to go to the same area that I'm going to be passing through today. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think they actually showed their motorcycle ride on this road, but I know that they did it because they had to go down this way in order to get to the offshore islands where they went. I should be coming down out of the hill right here. And I visited this area on a previous trip. There's a small fishing harbor off to the right, and I spent most of the day down at the fishing harbor just looking at the various fishing boats and chatting with the fishermen a little bit. This is a beautiful area on the other side of that town. Flat plains on both sides with all the rice fields. And those hills up ahead, if you follow those hills to the right, that's where I'm going. I'm going to be basically hitting those hills and then turning to the right, leaving this busy road behind, thankfully, and going into an area that is called Mandeh. Oh, picking up gas. This is interesting. I knew I needed a bit of gas, but because I have luggage on the scooter, I have to take my luggage off. There's my fancy suitcase, my fancy luggage, and I hold it in place on the scooter with 4 different straps, mainly bungee cords. But in order to get gas, I have to remove the bag because the gas tank is under the seat. So I get the gas now, and then I have to go back, pick up the bag, and re-strap it into place. And an interesting thing about trips like this is that the first day, of course, when you do these things, you have to figure out your system for how you strap your luggage onto the scooter. And then as time passes, every day you improve your system. It becomes more and more efficient and better. And then after a while, it almost becomes automatic. And it takes no time at all. You pop the bag off, put it back on, put on the straps, and you know exactly which strap goes where, how to hook them on, and then it becomes very easy to do after a while. One thing I noticed riding along here is there are a couple of power distribution centers. I'll point them out when we go by them, because on one of the roads in this peninsula where I'm going, there's a coal generating station, a power station, and I think the power from that plant comes out here. So I think we're about to pass one, but there are a couple of power distribution centers, and I think they handle, you can see the big electrical towers on the left, so I think they're carrying the wires from the power plant and bring them into the distribution center, and then it gets sent out to various parts of Sumatra. Here's one right here on the left. Looks very industrial with that fence and all the barbed wire. And up ahead, I'm going to be turning right onto a smaller road, and you'll see me wave at someone to the right here. And the reason I'm waving is because there are a group of men there who are waiting for tourists like me to show up, and then they get your attention, and when you stop, they come over to talk to you because they're acting as agents for different types of boat tours, like boat trips that go out to the islands off the coast here in this peninsula. And at the time, I wasn't really aware of what this area was all about. I felt like I discovered it myself just because I was looking at Google Maps satellite view, and I saw this beautiful peninsula with this road. Right here it goes up really steeply. This road was so steep, it was incredible. My scooter could barely make it up. It hardly had the power to do it. But I felt like I discovered this area myself. But it turns out that it's called Mandeh, as I said, and it's very well known as a tourist attraction. And there are a lot of boat hopping, like island hopping boat trips. Here and there, if you look to the right, that's the road I went down last time, and that dead ends at the power plant. That's where I went before, And today I'm going forward, and I've never gone there before. So everything from this point is brand new to me. And now I have to mount my GoPro on my scooter. I've got a big claw there. I lock the end of the grip in that claw, wrap the elastic band around, adjust the camera angle, and I start talking. I've arrived at the turnoff. This is the Y or T intersection that marks where I came. This is as far as I came on this road last time, and then I turned right this way. You can see a sign up there for the Kupi Batigo. That's where I went last time. That was my last destination. And I went to the port, this PLN sign. That's for the big shipping port and a power plant down there. The road ends at a power plant. But anyway, I hung out at this Kupi Batigo for a while, little beach sort of cafe. And now, though, instead of turning right, I'm heading this direction. And this goes on into the peninsula and follows the coast a little bit. And I guess there should be some beaches along there, some guest houses, boat tours out to the islands. I don't really know what's over there, so that's what we're going to find out. Look at those guys. Serious motorcycles, serious luggage. A quick map check just to scan the terrain up ahead, see where I might want to stop. I assume it'll be a beach of some kind. Oh, I see. So we're going to be inland for a while, and then we're going to, okay. We're going to join the ocean. Oh, I can't connect to the internet here. There's no mobile network connection here. But okay, I'm going to end up at a place called Sungai Pisang. Sungai. I should know what Sungai means. Sungai. I know what that means. But anyway, Pisang means banana. So this might be like Banana River, I think. Yeah, so this is Banana River. And there's a beach there and different things. So that's going to be my... I was going to say how far away it is, but I can't tell because, as I said, there's no internet connection. But it's not far. 7 or 8 kilometers ahead. And I'll be at Banana River on the ocean. All right, here we go. Brand new road. Gotta love that. I'm not really sure about the road condition for the whole trip. Like right now, it's beautiful, it's perfect. Flat, new tarmac, windy, going up and down. Perfect scooter road. No traffic, no trucks. Love that. But I don't know if the road stays this way or whether it turns into a unpaved road or not. I guess that's why we go here, to find these things out. Sungai Pisang. Hopefully that means there's lots of bananas. Maybe I can get some fried banana snacks. I always keep my eye open for those. I left from Padang without much gas. I should have filled the tank yesterday, but for some reason that task slipped my mind. And I just continued right up until just a few minutes ago. I stopped to get gas. But it's a little bit more of an effort once you're on the road because I have my luggage on top of my seat. And of course, I have to raise the seat. Wow, look at this. Yikes. Steep. Ay, ay, ay. Whoa. Yeah, you do not want to be cycling this unless you have the power of Superman in your legs. Good grief, this is steep. Ay, 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 ay. There's a very steep section at the very beginning of this road. I shot some video of it the last time I was here, of the trucks grinding their way up in their lowest gear. And coming here this time, yeah, couldn't believe how steep it was. And right on the main corner going down, I could see that the guardrail, the fencing, was all completely destroyed. Just, you know, the occasional truck or vehicle that loses control on that steep downhill just wipes out the barrier, goes over the cliff. I'll bet it's happened a lot. Wow. Oh, I wonder if this is, oh boy. I wonder if this is the Banana River, and then it eventually ends up heading down to the coast, right to the village of Banana River. It's like a beautiful river. Pretty rough bridge. Look at this, at the very end there's like a cliff. And that's not really a bump, it's like a small cliff. You really have to slow down for that. Yeah, I was just saying that in order to get gas, then I had to take my luggage off, which means, you know, removing all the bungee cords and the straps. And then you have to put your bag down away from the gas pump, because you can't really stand in line and wait until you get to the front of the line and then take your luggage off. Everyone behind you will be very annoyed as you're holding up the line. So I find a place where I can relatively safely take off my luggage. I put it on the ground. Hopefully I can see it from where I get the gas, and then I can keep my eye on it, and then I get back in line and get the gas. And in this case, I've been talking about the psychological situation, like what do you do when you get shortchanged, or as often happens, overchanged? Because it happens a lot where I pay for something and they don't give me enough change. So they shortchange me. And other times they give me too much change. And I always wonder, you know, you're stuck in that situation, okay, what do you do? And what I do, I just ignore it now. Because going back and trying to fix the problem is more trouble than it's worth. They don't understand what you're saying. You're trying to give them money back because they gave you too much and they don't really know what's going on. It just causes confusion. So now I just make the assumption that it all evens out. Sometimes I don't get enough change, sometimes I get too much. In either case, I just let it go. In this case, for whatever reason, I was supposed to get 74,000 in change, and he gave me 86,000 in change. So he gave me, you know, 10 or 12,000 rupiah too much. And I didn't realize it until I got I left the lineup, I rode my scooter all the way to my luggage, I strap in all my luggage, and then I think, hey, you know what, it felt like he gave me too much. I checked my wallet, and yeah, he gave me too much change. But then it's like, well, go back? Try to give the guy 12,000 rupiah, and then it's like, so I just put it in my wallet and I kept it. Soon enough someone will shortchange me and it will all even out. Beautiful road. I think we're getting close to Banana River. See that spot of land over there? There's sort of a hill, peninsula, and I think right over there is this little town. No idea if it's like a resort town set up for visitors and tourists, or whether it's just a local fishing, farming village. We'll find out in a minute. You really have to keep your eyes on the dogs here because they don't get as much traffic on this road, and the dogs have gotten very comfortable and they're all sleeping out in the middle of the pavement. Selamat datang to Pisang. Welcome to this place, this banana place. There's a beach area, and a man right at the intersection stopped me and was telling me about all the islands that I can go to. Makes me wonder if there's any kind of a official boat tour sort of place down here. Pulau Island. It's interesting that in English, well, they're speaking Indonesian, but they pronounce the English word island with the S. They say island. Took me a long time to figure out what they were talking about. You know, island, island, island. So there's a whole bunch of islands off the coast here. Look at that. Pamutusan Island, Sirenda, Padang, Kelompok. Whole bunch of them. Sungai, Pisang. Wow, look at this place. It's beautiful. Wow, okay, this is a park the scooter and go for a walk kind of place. Just walk out onto this pier at least, maybe up and down the coast. All right, look at this place, Sungai Pisang. Gorgeous. Even have a nice wooden fencing, very dramatic looking. Okay, there's a boat there. Looks like they had some people, they took them out to the islands. My thing with sort of like island hopping tours and boat tours is generally information. Look. Oh yeah, they have a tourism sign here for this area. I talked about this in a previous video, that even in Padang, when I went down to the water and different places, people would offer me, you know, boat tours and things like that. And then, you know, since I'm here on my own and I'm just sort of roaming around by scooter, and there's all this ocean here anyway, like look at this ocean and beach. This is more than beautiful enough for me, you know. So I got here, I don't automatically feel like, well, now I have to go out there to that island, right? Like what's out there, that island that isn't right here. I often find the shoreline more interesting than the islands, because here you get all the activity, you know, the boats and the cattle and yeah, all these goats. So I don't have this automatic feeling like I must go out to the islands. And at the same time, there's a part of my brain deep down is like, well, I'm kind of interested if there was like a little ticket booth here, like for these boats, you know, if they had a little booth there and they had a sign that said, you know, island tour, 500,000 rupiah for 6 hours, you know, just something, just some little description of how much it costs per person and when it goes and where it goes. Well, now you're talking my language and you might talk me into doing it. But that's me. I have my own ways of doing things, I guess. But yeah, look at this. This is gorgeous. And again, it's just me by myself. So what am I going to do? Rent an entire boat like this? That boat that just came in, you know, it had local people on it, just came back from an island hopping tour. and there were like 10 people on the boat. So that makes economic sense for me to hire a boat all by myself. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. A lot of boats out there though. Look at that beach out there. That looks gorgeous. I wonder if there's any, I don't think there's a road that goes out there, to be honest. I think the only way to get there is by boat, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, these boats probably do double duty on that one coming in right now. I think I see some fish nets, and you could probably pass people out on island hopping tours at the same time. There are probably some kinds of guest houses here. I'm causing great disappointment here. All the local men, more and more of them keep showing up offering me island tours. And then when I say no a couple of times, they get, it's like, oh, and then they walk away. It's like, why do I get all the foreigners that don't go island hopping, he says. So here's the herd. Nah, I don't want to bother you gals. I'm just walking by. Don't worry about it. Fisherman YouTube star. Selamat pagi. Fish. Oh yeah, so there's the catch right there. Oh, 2 buckets. Yeah. Caught with a net, I assume. Definitely something about beach life though, island life, ocean life, even this little place. Everything just feels slower. Like I was getting here on my scooter, feeling like I'm going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I've been here 10 minutes and I feel like I've been here for a year. You know, I can feel myself just relaxing. Everything just runs at a slower pace when you're on the ocean. You know, these people just sort of hanging out in the shade. Nobody's running around being frantic about anything. I just saw a man sitting under a tree. He's got a knife in one hand, a coconut in the other, and he's just sort of slowly, you know, digging away at the coconut to open it up. And he's got all the time in the world to get at his coconut. He's in no hurry. Yeah, it's a beautiful place. Very relaxing. I haven't seen any signs for guest houses or resorts or anything like that. There's a barrier up ahead here, a big fence. I don't know what that would be all about. Usually means there's some kind of a resort up ahead, but perhaps not. It doesn't look like a resort grounds. This is as far as you can go in this direction, unless you really want to start climbing fences and things. I just wanted to get on the other side of this tree just to capture that perspective. Getting very artistic. I just checked Google Maps, and as far as I can tell, the road that I'm on does follow the coast a little bit, and then that whole area out there is completely, has no roads on it at all. So there are islands and a peninsula, and the only way to get out there is actually by boat. There's a whole region there that's cut off from the land, At least according to Google Maps. Maybe there's like a real rough local road that doesn't show up. And those guys there, 4 of them, are doing something interesting. I saw that same activity all through like northern Sumatra when I rode my bike there. Much bigger groups of men, and what they're doing is slowly pulling in a net. You can see that rope. Well, you probably can't see that rope, but there's a long rope or set of ropes going out to some fishing nets, and then using the entire weight of their bodies, almost like a tug of war position. You know, they latch onto the rope. There's like a harness there sometimes. And yeah, see that guy's got a harness and he's hooking himself into the rope. And now he's just going to lean backwards and use the weight of his body and his leg muscles to pull the net in. And whenever they get to the end of the line, they just unhook and go back to the front of the line again. When I saw it before, there would be a couple of dozen of men doing this all on the same fishing line. These guys are pulling in a smaller one, I guess. I'm a bit closer to these guys pulling in the net. Yeah, it's going to take them a long time to do it. They got a lot of rope. You can see how far out, or probably you can't, but anyway, it goes far out into the ocean there. It's a very slow, steady process to pull that net in. And I think this is one side of the net, and then this rope over here is the other side of the net. Oh yeah, these guys are doing that as well. I think they use a boat, of course, to take the net out and then drop it, spread it out in the water while leaving it attached to the shore. So this one has 4 guys pulling at the same time. And I think once they pull it in, they put it on the boat and put it back out there again. And just keep fishing that way. Ah, here's a little spot I could get a drink. I'm always on the lookout for tables and chairs. This end of the village is a little bit more developed, has a lot of shops here. Some places selling like bathing suits and beach toys and food and drinks. And check this out, there's some sort of a model boat built into a bridge, I guess. I'm assuming it's a bridge, but they made it look like a boat or something. Huh. Oh, yeah, okay. This is cool. Jembatan Gantung. Looks new. Certainly the paint job is new. I guess that's the main bridge over there that carries the main road across the river. I guess this would be it, the banana river right here. Haven't seen any bananas yet though. But here on the other side. Hello. Hello. So of course, when I get back on my scooter, I'm going to have to ride over this bridge for sure. And I think up ahead here, I should be able to link up with the main road. Yeah. Just over there to the left. pleasant little town. Yeah, here's one of the shops, you know, selling beach attire and toys. Yeah, I haven't seen any obvious guest houses, which is kind of a surprise. Feels like this would be the perfect place to have a homestay or guest house, but looks like it's more of a day trip kind of place. People come from Padang for the day and then go back to their hotel in Padang. So they just haven't developed here at all. I see signs here and there for names of different companies. There's one over there, Island Tour, like a poster, I mean. Love this bridge though. So some of the buildings along the water. It looks like this one, the orange and blue one, is abandoned. All the doors and windows are gone. Just wanted to walk down to the water here. Yeah, pretty rough looking places here. I doubt that that's lived in anymore either. Yeah, these places are all abandoned. Looks like there's some kind of a sign up there, big white letters or something. I wonder if there's a trail that goes up there. So I grabbed a seat inside this little place that I saw that had chairs and tables. And luckily for me, it's right beside the beach where they're pulling in the fish net. And all this time that I've been walking around, just now they're finally getting the first, like the front edge of the net is finally getting onto shore. Now they have men on both sides of the net because they have to pull it in evenly on each side. So there's 4 men on each side, I guess, or 3 or 4 on each side. So you can see there, yeah, they've reached the net itself. I can just make out the size of the net. I mean, it's huge for something that men pull in by hand. And from what I remember, in North Sumatra, when I saw them doing this, very rare that they would get a significant number of fish. It seemed like a lot of work for a very small catch. But in a few minutes, yeah, we'll find out how much they pull in. And I have my traditional kopi susu. That is a lot of condensed milk down there at the bottom of this one. Yeah, I'll check back in with them when they get the net on shore. That black ball there, I think that marks the end of the net. So they've just brought in the whole net. But yeah, I don't see a lot of fish in there. I guess there's some. They're lifting it up. From this distance, I don't know how much we can make out. Yeah, very little. And I think I remember, again, in northern Sumatra, that the helpers, the guys that help pull in the net, they would get paid with just a small amount of the fish that they could bring home and have for lunch or something. They weren't paid in cash. But yeah, I hardly see any fish in there at all. Just ran into this big family behind me, big group of people, and they're heading out for the day. And I got some of the details. I mean, it's a whole group, and I think they're paying 120, he said 120 pounds for the boat for the day. So that's for the whole group. Hello, how are you? And so if you have a big group like that, you divide it up, you know, the cost. So there they go. They've coiled up the net and they're bringing it out and they're going to do it all over again. Wonder how many times they get to do it in a day. Look at that. The net and rope fills almost the entire boat. And this is their catch. Let's see what he got. So what did you catch today? Oh, small fish.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Ini
Oh, some squid.
bagus ya.
Bagus.
Ini ikan.
And then some small, like, little ones. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I think they caught a little bit more than that because some people would have taken little containers of fish away already as part of their payment. But yeah, so I guess that's how much they get each time they pull it in. This young fellow is very eager to speak with me, but I can't understand, of course, what he's saying. I think I see one fishing boat out there, a really big one that looks like it's sunk. I think the water here is quite shallow because I can see waves way out there. They're breaking. There's some sort of a dune out there. So this whole bay area, I think, is very shallow. Yeah, that whole family has all the food and drinks for the day. They're going out for a lot of picnicking from beach to beach. It's funny, there's one foreigner, that's how I started chatting with him. There's one big white guy, looks just like me, so I was chatting with him. He speaks English, and I was asking him about, you know, as he said, yo, the boat is really, really cheap. He said 120 pounds, but of course, 120 pounds for one person, that's not cheap anymore. And I believe it was his wife. She spoke English, but I think she's from Indonesia, and she was surprised to learn about me that she's, oh, so you've been here and where else? And I've been, North Sumatra and Toba. And she said, so you like it? And I said, yeah, I love it here. It's great. And she's like, oh, I don't understand. She's from here, but she says since she left Indonesia, she's had the chance to go to all these places, Oman, that's where they live now, I guess, and Dubai. And then when she comes back here, I guess the physical discomforts, the heat and everything like that, she's more into the comforts now. So when she comes back here, it's just not to her taste anymore. And I was telling her, like for me, this is an adventure. For her, it's normal, but for me, even seeing these men fishing like that is fascinating. This beach is fascinating. The cows are fascinating, right? And so for me, it's an adventure. For her to come back here, sounds like it's just a hardship. So yeah, she was surprised that I like it here so much. Well, time to get back on the scooter. There's another village, another beach village just like this one, like 5 kilometers away, like right on the other side of this peninsula. The road cuts across the base of it, and right on the other side there's another village. So that's my next stop. And there they go. That looks to be Aldo Tour or something like that. I saw signs for that company. I just pulled up the anchor, and now off they go, island hopping. Yeah, they actually have some life jackets. I was surprised. They look to be in relatively good condition, at least from a distance, because there's a lot of people in that boat. If you can't swim, I think you'd want a life jacket. Yeah, pretty calm seas today, but you never know. Yeah, there they go. And off we go. Get to ride back. Hello.
Yeah.
Through this friendly place and go across that bridge. What a great little town. Little ocean village. An easy distance from Padang to come here. You could base yourself in Padang quite easily, as long as you have some kind of transportation to get out here. And here's the bridge. Steep on-ramp. I'll let that guy with his propane tank cross ahead of me.
Hello.
Hello. Look at this bay over here. As I said, very surprisingly shallow water. Yeah, just looking at all, like there's one boat there, the one that's sort of not really floating, it's just lying on the land. The other one is sunk. So yeah, very shallow water. I wonder if local people get a commission. Like there's so many men asking me to go out to the, if I want to go out to the islands, but they can't all have boats. So maybe they can, you know, they find a customer like me, bring me to one of the tour companies that has a boat, and then maybe they get a commission of some kind. I'm not sure. Yeah, look at that. So many boats here that are sunk. This is Shipwreck Bay, I would call it. Oh, beautiful though. Yeah, this place alone could easily have been a day trip out of Padang. You know, just to come here, maybe spend more time just in this one village, and then go back to Padang. And I'm guessing that this road eventually links up with the main road and doesn't just dead end up here. We shall see. There we go. I think this is the main road up here. So I've arrived in the next town. It's a beautiful road cutting across the peninsula, you know, connecting these two places. I'm not sure what the name of this village is. Thought I saw something that said Sungai Painan. I haven't seen an obvious way to get down to the water yet. I think I have to turn around and take one of these side streets. But I'm going to go across the bridge first, see if that gives me a perspective on the place. Ah, okay. So yeah, this bridge marks the end of the town, crossing quite a large river. Yeah, it's not messing around, this one. Quite wide. That's the river looking inland. A bunch of boats down there. So let's see if we can work our way towards the water. I think I caught a glance of a whole bunch of tents, if that makes any sense. There's some tents down by the water's edge. Well, let's just cut down this road, the first one I come across. See where I end up. Oh, these fish laid out to dry in the sun. Hello. How are you? All right. Well, look at this. Another harbor. Oh, not quite the same kind of beach as at the other place, but certainly a place to walk around a little bit. If I can park my scooter up ahead here. I've already found out that you got to be careful with this sand. You go too far up onto that beach and your wheels are going to get stuck. Hello. But this grassy bit right here by the trees should be firm enough. Ah, very nice. All right, here we are. Stop number 2 on today's whirlwind tour, Padang to Painan. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful beach area here. And there you can see the road that I'm on. The road continues along the shore, goes over that hill, and then continues on to the south. Not as shallow as at the other village, at Pisang. Look at all the boats over there. I guess they have to pull the boats up out of the water here. I guess it gets a lot rougher, like this. Woo! Group of men gathered around something, usually means fish, that they pulled in a net or a boat came in with a big catch and they're dividing it up. Yeah, those 2 young guys are just carrying something quite heavy. So maybe they got a very good catch. So I'm gonna head over there and see what's going on. It looks like all these boats are rigged up for a lot of fishing. You see all the coils of ropes and nets, piled up in each one. Maybe they all do the same thing that I just witnessed, putting these nets close to shore and then pulling them all in by manpower. Hello. Oh yeah, this is like one of these nets. Oh, they got a much bigger catch over here. And it looks like they're dividing them by size. Right. Because here, yeah, they're sorting out the larger fish, go in there. And here they're leaving the smaller ones behind. But yeah, look at that. It's a pretty big catch. Much bigger than I saw on the other side. They didn't seem to catch anything at all. But here they caught quite a bit. Hello. Oh yeah. Ah. I guess fish. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's from them. So that man threw away the sea snake or whatever it is, and this young boy is a boy after my own heart. He's returning it to the sea. Which is the first thing I thought of is, oh, no, he's not a boy after my own heart. He's killing it. Ay, ay, ay. Little boys, you know. Though actually, I noticed when I was in Padang, I was talking about the young girl on the beach with her family, and she made a hobby out of running up and down the length of the beach. And every time she found a crab, she would chase it into its hole, and then she would take a whole bunch of sand, wet sand, and dump it into the hole and then stamp on it, because she was trying to trap the crab, you know, inside the hole. So it's not just little boys that have this instinct to torment animals. Anyway. Yeah, this harbor kind of illustrates a lesson about the ocean, I guess, because when I was on the other side at Pisang, the ocean looks so smooth and flat. You know, that harbor was so quiet, and you feel like it's no big deal to hop in a boat and go somewhere. But once you get out of a sheltered harbor, then suddenly, yeah, you find yourself in the ocean with real waves. And if a wind kicks up or a storm system, you know, you have to know what you're doing, is what I'm saying. Even if the harbor looks very flat and calm, and you think, no big deal, let's hop on a boat and go out. But as soon as you go out of the sheltered harbor, you have no idea what kind of conditions you're going to be facing. And you don't want to be an amateur out there in a boat. Because even that area right there, you know, the waves hitting the shore. They're still sorting the catch. Just then when I was watching them, I noticed one man was picking out all the crabs. At first I didn't see them. All I saw were fish, but of course with a net like that, they'd scoop up everything. Fish, different sizes, different types, squid, and crab. So he was getting all the crab out of the pile. Yeah, different kind of beach here. I guess because the water is a little bit rougher, harder to get boats in and out. Pisang has more tourism there. Yeah, that's where all the island hopping takes place. And there's shops and cafes and things like that. They don't seem to have that here. More of a natural fishing village. Let's see if I can clean up my sandals here. Got a little bit muddy. There we go. That's where I parked my scooter. Very romantic setting underneath the palm trees. There's a fishing boat coming in. They're timing it just right to let the waves carry it up. Oh, that's it. They're just dropping two guys off and then they're going back out, putting the boat back out in the water. Oh yeah, they're sending out another boat to fish again, like with the net. That area where I just was. That other boat now is heading out. It's clearly loaded down with the netting. All right, let's see where this road goes. Just goes back to where all these fishing boats were and the men were sorting the catch. And that's it down there. I guess that's the boat that just left. Yeah, they haven't gone out very far. If that's where they're setting the net, it's interesting. They don't have to go very far offshore to catch fish. And here's the lineup of men pulling in another net. It's always interesting to see how slowly they do it, just sort of gradually moving backwards. And then, as I said, they get to the end of the line and change places. They all go to the front. There's a lot more of them than I realized when I was walking along. Another group here. And it was these piles here, like the orange and blue tarp. This is what I thought were tents, you know, like from a distance. I saw all these boats and these tarps, and I thought these were like a little tent community of some kind. Now it looks like good fishing here. I see a young guy up there. He's carrying a whole wheelbarrow load of, or pushing a wheelbarrow load of fish away. Here he comes. Oh, he's got the big plastic tub. That's where they were sorting all the fish. And he's got the tub in his wheelbarrow. It's funny, this reminds me of when I rode my bike up the coast, as I said, because I spent the night in places like this. This roof structure right ahead of me where the fishermen hang out. That's where I could put up my tent at night. It was very handy when the rain came down. But that was all in the days before I was shooting video, so I don't have any video of that experience. Huh. It's kind of a cool village to explore. Have these cement walkways leading to different places. All right, back at the main road, and from here, I think it's like 8 kilometers to get to the next village on the ocean. You know, whether I stop and explore anywhere else, we'll see. But yeah, it's like 8 kilometers to the next village. And I think it's 46 kilometers to Painan and my guest house for the night. I found another beach. This is Manjuto Beach. And it looks like they're very well organized for island hopping tours. They have these tour boats. Oh, okay, so they got a big guest house here, the beach. And then they run island tours from here. Hello, how are you? Huh. Okay. I think from the hill leading out, you can probably get a nice view of this beach area. And Echo Beach. There's a lot of beachside resorts and bungalows here. So yeah, this is this whole beach harbor area. So it looks like it's pretty well organized. You can see some, yeah, really nice sandy beaches as well. Yeah, really nice. Wow, nice view coming over this hill. Hello. I had no idea all of this was here. Another beautiful beach. Could not ask for a nicer place to go for a scooter ride, that's for sure. SPM Beach. Let's turn around here just for a look at this beach. Yeah, getting very close to that classic white sandy beach. Tropical paradise. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Coming over another hill, back down to the water. Stunning blue in that water right now. There it is. Just turned around for a second to get another view of this area. Looking for an opening here. There's a bit of that beach. Really nice. From here you can actually see around the peninsula there. I think that's the island, the very first at the Pisang village that I stopped at. All the way back there. And it looks like the scenery continues over here too. Yeah. Once again, so steep. One more time. Gotta do a quick U-turn here to see some of this view. A little bit of a viewpoint from up here. Oh, that is so nice. I guess those would be some of the islands that you go to on your island hopping tours. Ooh. As far as I can tell, the road stays along the shore for quite a few kilometers yet. Another viewpoint coming over the hill. I guess these are the Mandeh Islands, people said. Oh yeah, there's a sign right there. Puncak Paku Mandeh. So it's like the Mandeh Islands viewpoint. And then there's men up there as well talking about island hopping tours. Racing down. I haven't touched the gas at all here. See if we make it over. Yep. I'm just coasting. Pattaya guest house. Another resort, Kulik Kayu Resort. I need gas here to get up. Yeah, this whole area is coming as a big surprise to me. I had no idea that all of this beautiful scenery was located here. Every time I talk to people about going to Padang, nobody mentioned this. They talk about the Mentawai Islands for surfing, but this scene here, no one ever mentioned it. I didn't know it was here. Yeah, look at that! Look at that scenery. It's very nice. this harbor as we're going up and over the hill with all those boats in it. Very picturesque. And there's the harbor from another angle. And there are a couple of restaurants here. Really nice viewpoints, it looks like. Even some swimming pools down there. Pandan View, they call this. The Villa Cottage Cafe. There's a sign for this place. Ooh. Going straight back down again. Still in the Mandeh Islands district. I stopped in a town there to get the tire pressure checked. Mainly my front tire kind of felt mushy to me. It's felt that way for a few days. So I got him to pump up the tires. Scooter feels a lot better now. He was a good mechanic. He actually had a pressure gauge built into his pump so that he could actually, you know, view the pressure as he was pumping in the air and get it just right. And he knew exactly what to set it to. Ooh. Look at this. Another amazing viewpoint. Oh, man. As I've already said, I had no idea that this was here. That this whole district was so beautiful. No idea. They should have someone in the local tourism board count the number of curves on this road, and then they could give it a name, you know, the road of 800 curves or something like that. There's certainly a lot of them. They could also claim to have some of the steepest curves around. It's like one of the nicest riding roads you could imagine, combining the scenery with the winding nature of it. Spots where you can stop to get a drink or a snack, plus the quality of the pavement. I've hardly come across any potholes at all. Just passed an intersection there that I wasn't expecting, so I'm not sure if I'm still on the right track, but getting very close to Painan, a couple of kilometers away from my guest house. This is probably Painan right here. Gonna have to stop, I think, and do a map check, because oh, here we go. Look at this. Big circular roundabout. Welcome to Painan. Ah, I already have good feelings about this town. Look at that. Wide streets, divided. Some greenery in the middle. Nothing wrong with that. Another interesting intersection right beside a big beautiful mosque. Park there. Wow. Nice looking place. But time for a map check. Good thing I checked because my guest house is right here. Turn left here. Should be another road fairly quickly. Turn left again. Perhaps right here. And then right up ahead somewhere. I'm getting close. Could it be down here? Wow, look at that. What could be nicer than that? The Bumimi homestay. I found it. Found it. All right, I appear to have arrived. This is it here, the Bumimi homestay behind me. As you can see, it's the first place that looks like an actual home. So it really does feel like a, staying in someone's home, a Bumimi homestay. And for a minute or two, it looked like things were hanging in the balance because an older man was sitting outside. He greeted me and brought me in, and he was sort of, checking me in, but he didn't really have any idea what he was doing. So he had a ledger with the fact that I'm a foreigner, showing him my passport and that I booked it through Agoda and it's already paid for in advance on Agoda. He really had no clue what any of that was about. So for a while it looked like we were going around in circles and I wasn't sure if we were going to make any headway or not. But then he went out and got his son. And his son came in, he spoke English, and everything went smoothly after that. He says, "Oh, you booked online. Can I see the Agoda confirmation?" "Oh, there it is." And, so everything went smoothly after that. So yeah, here it is. I will take you on a short tour of the place, once I get settled. One thing about Agoda, though, I do find it confusing. I often get caught where on the Agoda listing, it looks clearly to me like the room has its own bathroom. It did like it doesn't specify clearly private bath or shared bath, and it turns out that this room has a shared bathroom, which is fine with me. But when I booked it, I was positive it had a private bathroom. So again, at the price that I'm paying, you can't really expect a private bathroom. So I was kind of pleased. I thought, wow, at that price and a private bathroom. But it turns out at that price, no private bathroom, which is fine. But like I said, on Agoda, I find it confusing. It doesn't really specify that clearly. Anyway, let's head inside. Okay, so we're up on the second floor. The rooms are up here on the second floor. And that's another funny thing about the check-in, because when the father who we couldn't understand each other at all, and he kept asking me for things that I showed him, and then I just filled out the ledger myself. I took the pen from him, and I could read the columns, in Indonesian, name, I could, passport number, I could fill it all out. But then he kept making a money sign to me, like money, money, money. And I was like, well, I already paid on Agoda, and I thought we were going to get into this situation where this is going to be another guest house that doesn't honor online bookings, and this is going to turn into a big problem. But then when the son showed up, he was like, "Oh, you paid on Agoda already," and he saw the confirmation, he saw how much, and so, okay, everything's fine. But then he said, "We have one room left," so we have one room left. And my thought was, well, I hope so, because I reserved the room. And so I says, well, yeah, I know, I reserved one room. He says, well, yeah, you're lucky because we have one room left. And I was thinking, no, I'm not lucky. I booked it in advance. So I don't know, it feels like had I come later in the day, this room might not have been available because, I don't know, it was very confusing, which I'm never happy about. I don't like, you know, the arrival confusion. That it's kind of like, But anyway, it all worked out in the end. So here is the my room there, number 3. And there is a balcony out here, which is really nice. Oh, there's 2 balconies. Oh, okay. So there's one over here with a sofa and some plants. There's the view from up here. This definitely makes up for the lack of a bathroom, doesn't it? Yeah, nice houses around this neighborhood. And then I think there's another balcony on the other side. I think this is the one he showed me. Oh yeah, there's another one over there. He first showed me this one and said, okay, this is, you know, smoking. This is the smoking area, I guess, if you want to smoke and hang out. So there's 2 balconies, this one and the one on the other side. Yeah, this is really nice. And some of the surrounding hills, the scenery here, very nice. Yeah, residential neighborhood. Very cool. And I haven't looked at the bathrooms yet. So there's my room, and these are the bathrooms. So, okay. Yeah, cool. So it just has your standard bucket bath. As long as it's full of water, I'm happy. And, oh. The sign says ladies over there and gents over there. But here there is nowhere to go, so there's no bathroom over here. So I guess there's only one bathroom for these rooms. Yeah. All right. So that's the setting up here. And then inside my room, it's actually a twin room, which I didn't realize either. So it's got 2 beds, which is nice. I set up shop here, and all my gear spreads out over here, which is nice. This is awesome. Bedside table, which I love. And a nice little desk and a chair over there, which is cool. TV. And best of all, air conditioner. And here is the controller. So it does this. Ooh. Yeah, it looks brand new. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, even has a nice mirror over there, which is pretty rare. And downstairs is sort of the house. So the upstairs here is for guests. I don't know if family members live down here, but as I said, it is a true homestay, not like a hotel. And so as you can see, you know, there's a kitchen, dining room table, and there's a cooler over there, which is really nice. So I guess we can get cold drinks from there. And I assume they have prices for that if you help yourself. And when I came in, there was a gorgeous young cat up on the table. But it, oh yeah, there it is over there. Oh, yeah, down there. Beautiful, beautiful young cat. Oh, here it comes. Hello. Very, very friendly. Really nice cat. So. Hey, kitty. Very fluffy. And my hands right now are all sweaty and sticky, so I'm sticking to poor cat's fur. But anyway, I'm sure we will become good friends, won't we, kitty? So, yeah, here it is, my new home. And I might grab something out of that fridge right now. I'm sure I can figure out how to pay for it later on. All right, settling down on my balcony, relaxing for a minute with a cold drink. Oh, nice. Absolutely nice. So that's it for today, I think. Got to unpack, settle into my room, go out looking for some food, and get to know my neighborhood. And yeah, beautiful ride. Again, nobody told me that that district was here. That whole, you know, beach area near Padang with all the island hopping. Yeah, it was really, really nice. I wasn't expecting that at all. So yeah, it's pretty hot out here on the balcony right now. I don't think I'm going to stay here very long. I'm going to head inside, unpack, take a cold shower. So that's it. And I'll see you, as always, in the next video.